Straight ahead on 12 News Weekend, a changing Brooklyn Park landscape.
Well, now everybody's curious what's going to go next door. Now everybody wants to be next door.
As a development hotspot attracts new businesses. Then, something many high school students look forward to, prom. But it can get expensive. We head to Maple Grove to tally up the costs. But first, a third lane at long last? Why Plymouth may finally get its highway wish. 12 News Weekend starts right now. Hello, and thanks for joining us on 12 News Weekend. I'm Blaine Cleveland.
And I'm Shannon Slatton. A third lane for Interstate 494 has been on Plymouth's wish list for nearly 2 decades.
Now that wish is one step closer to reality. Interstate 494 is a major corridor through the city of Plymouth. And if you talk to people who live or work in this area, the general consensus is that it's not wide enough.
I hear from residents all the time that they're sitting in traffic. It's costing them not just time, it's costing them money, it's costing them time with their families, trying to get to their kids' events, trying to get to and from work.
To ease that congestion, the Plymouth City Council has pushed state officials to add a third lane on 494 between Fish Lake Road and Highway 55. Instead, MnDOT proposed the so-called dynamic shoulder lane, which would only open to traffic during peak congestion.
MnDOT had proposed a dynamic shoulder, which was kind of a short-term fix, supposed to last 15 to 20 years.
At Tuesday night's City Council meeting,
have you heard any good rumors about 494 lately? Anybody?
There was some welcome news.
We would like to be able to just further analyze this dynamic shoulder lane versus a general purpose lane.
Which means Plymouth could get its permanent solution sooner rather than later. It's not just city leaders who want this. Longtime business owners in Plymouth say this will have a huge impact on them.
I know right now that if I'm going to go somewhere, I don't even consider taking 494 because it's an unreliable road.
Bill Krause has lived in Plymouth for 20 years and owns this Dunn Brothers coffee franchise.
For my store, my customers are commuters, and anything that impedes their commute makes it less likely that they'll come through my drive-thru.
He's been a vocal proponent of a third lane, and for him, anything that helps traffic flow helps his business.
There's no substitute for an extra lane. You know, MnDOT's tried all sorts of technologies for trying to manage traffic. Nothing substitutes like another lane.
Plymouth City officials say they're optimistic they'll get the third lane, but there are still some major hurdles to clear. First, the state would have to approve another $25 million to help fund the project, and then the Metropolitan Council would have to approve the plan. The goal would be to have the project finished by 2016.
A newlywed couple hopes to celebrate Valentine's Day weekend with the return of a storage device that holds many of their wedding photos. This small white SD card contained hundreds of photos from the wedding of Justin and Erin Voss. Their photographer had her small purse stolen at the lodge in Robbinsdale on Saturday, February 1st. That small data card was inside.
The day was great, and we had a lot of special people there with our family and friends to enjoy it, so the memory's in our mind, but we'd love to have those pictures back, to have that visual as we go through our married life together.
I think that's the most important thing that we want people to know, is that we don't care who anybody is or how they have it or found it. We just want it back.
The couple is posting flyers around the lodge and taking their message to social media in hopes that someone will return the card. No questions asked.
In our week in review, there's apologies and rethinking about a plan to build a facility in Golden Valley to treat kids with mental illness. A company called Lifespan wanted to build a facility in a residential area on Pennsylvania Avenue, which drew backlash from neighbors. The council recently sided against the project in a 3-2 vote. Mental health advocates were concerned about community comments, calling them steeped in fear, misunderstanding, and prejudice. The city council will now reconsider the plan. In Osseo, the city is taking the unusual step of offering to pay a portion of homeowners' water bills. The city asked residents to leave water running during extremely cold nights to avoid pipe freeze-ups, which has been a big problem this year. So from now until the end of March, the city will pay for the extra water used to help keep pipes from freezing. And some residents in Brooklyn Park are dealing with frozen pipes. City officials are calling the problem an unseen natural disaster. At least 15 homes have been without running water for almost a week.
It doesn't take a whole lot to freeze this small of an opening if we're not getting constant flow. You know, just think of a river. Rivers that are flowing rapidly don't freeze. The more stagnant parts freeze quite quickly.
The frozen pipes may require a special welder. The welding company that contracts with the city of Brooklyn Park is backed up. They told us they are working around the clock to try to fix the pipes. Well, changes are occurring rapidly along Highway 610 in Brooklyn Park.
City officials say development projects are gaining momentum along the corridor. We found one of those changes comes with an Italian twist.
We're American twist on Italian favorites.
The all-you-can-eat spaghetti lunch
Spaghetti bread, salad, or soft drink, you know, your choice.
draws the lunchtime crowd into a restaurant
Locally owned, yep.
that the owner calls All Brooklyn Park.
I'm here, both my daughters are here, my wife works here, my mom makes the desserts. All Brooklyn Park and people, actually.
Jim Stone has operated Sweet Taste of Italy for 11 years, just off 610.
Every year's been better than the last. So every time there's growth here as well.
Some of his growth he can trace right back to the bullseye up the road.
Target has a lot of people that have been there 20, 25 years, and so we do a lot of events for their retirement parties and such.
In fact, he does more than $10,000 in catering every year to Target, plus business he gets from walk-in customers. He expects more business as more companies establish a foothold on 610.
Now everybody's curious what's going to go next door. Now everybody wants to be next door. You know, they're not there yet, but now there's a draw.
The city says that idea is true on their end too. As more businesses come in, more development is bound to follow.
There's been a lot of momentum along 610, I think really added to with the announcement of the construction of the completion out to 94, which will start this summer. So we're looking forward to that to bring even more interest.
The city is planning to be on the Target campus to introduce employees to the area,
where the city will be there with a team of staff and community volunteers to welcome those new Target team members into the community and let them know about the restaurants that are available locally, other retailers, services that they might be looking for, and just to make their experience here in Brooklyn Park the best it can be.
in hopes the city can point workers toward another bullseye, local businesses who are ready to serve.
They'll come in here for lunch once a week even. That's all I need. We'll keep growing from there.
This week, Brooklyn Park approved a certificate of occupancy for the first tower of Target's campus expansion. That means that building is now move-in ready. Coming up on 12 News Weekend, students already thinking about prom season.
It can provide wonderful high school memories, and it can also be expensive. We'll show you next. Then later in sports, the Champlin Park gymnastics team lands in the state meet.
But first, puddles are in your AccuWeather forecast. On Wednesday, it could reach 40 degrees.
This winter has put a chill on the economy. At Golden Valley's Way to Go Sports, sales of outdoor gear have been flat, and over at Elm Creek Park Reserve, Tubing Hill, the crowds have been scarce. But neither is giving up on the season yet, not when there are still plenty of winter days ahead.
Looking at what's forecasted, we can get people out of their houses, get them tubing, skiing, snowboarding, whatever they like, and give them a chance to get outside now.
Winter ended this week. It would be the Metro's 5th coldest on record, dating back to the 1870s. Since December, the average temperature has been just 8 degrees. A spring ritual for high school students isn't getting any cheaper.
It's getting closer to prom season. We talked to students to find out what it's costing and how they are paying for it.
It's a big deal because everyone wants to go and have the best dress.
Prom dress store Glitz opened in Maple Grove just in time for the spring prom rush.
Proms, it's their thing. They live and they breathe prom. They'll start shopping in December.
But chances are teens, especially teenage girls, have been talking about prom much longer than that.
We've been talking about it for the past 2 months.
The cost of prom may surprise you. For the girls, between the dress, shoes, and hair, it's estimated $633. For the guy, the tux and corsage come out to about $325. Shared expenses like the limo, tickets, and party come to $487, for an average of more than $1,400 per couple.
Senior year, it's like the biggest event of the year.
I think it's like a really big deal. It's really special. It's just a big moment.
To save money, the key is to prioritize and plan.
You get to wear a long fancy gown and it's like something you never got to do.
Because you want to look better than everyone else. Probably the dress. I want to look good on that night. But yeah, the bus will be expensive too.
If a dress is your priority, look for layaway options or shop in the summer when dresses are on clearance. Decide what you are going to spend.
Something cheap, but definitely not like too cheap.
And then
save up for it.
For your teen, the experience could be a glitzy lesson in saving, spending, and planning.
I'm really excited. I already got my dress and my shoes and everything picked out. I still need a date, but that can come later.
And I'm sure it will. Glitz does have a contest where you could have all prom expenses paid if you have a creative prom proposal, but you have to videotape it and post it to the store's Facebook page. So Delane, maybe a few flash mobs or something really creative is going to happen out there.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it'd be neat to see.
Yeah.
Coming up, you can't separate them in the classroom or on the field.
You also can't separate them in looks. We'll show you coming up. But first, Hopkins battles Osseo in a matchup of boys basketball state powers. That's coming up in sports with John Jacobson. Welcome back. John Jacobson joins us now with sports. And this time of year we talk a lot about basketball, hockey, but we can't forget about gymnastics.
All right, state meet coming up this next weekend, and one local team will be represented there for the first time ever. Spots in the gymnastics meet were on the line this past week at section competition. The record-breaking meet for one local team. The Champlin Park girls had a great meet at Section 5AA Thursday. Taylor Gakeen here lands a score of 9.5 and finishes third on the balance beam. Liz Hammond finishes second on the uneven bars. She had a 9.125 score. Both girls are headed to state, as is the Rebels team, which scored a school record 142.725 points to win the section. Well, more on the 5AA meet Tuesday on Channel 12 Sports Jam. Just about every school we cover here on Channel 12 had at least one athlete competing at the state Nordic ski meet. The area was well represented on the medal stand. Armstrong's John Delaney starting the classic race in third place after a good skate race. Bloomington Jefferson's Zach Ketterson rolls to a win in a total time of 32 minutes, 52.7 seconds, and he wins the boys' individual pursuit title. Delaney loses a little ground in the second race, but still finishes 7th overall. That's best among the local boys. And then it's the girls' turn up at Giants Ridge. Weibusch's Elena Sonesson starts 5th. Her teammate Anna French starting 6th. Maddie Watts of Irondale holds off Vivian Hett of Burnsville to take the girls' title. Sonesson places 3rd, and not far behind her is French in 5th place. The Trojans repeat as team champions with 4 of the top 13 finishers in all. Armstrong's Hannah Rudd finishes 9th. That helps her team to a runner-up finish at state. We'll have more local reaction on our Sports Jam show starting Tuesday. Wayzata raced to its 2nd straight girls team state title. Armstrong edges Stillwater by 1 point for 2nd place. Wayzata's boys placed 6th. Forest Lake is the team champion for the boys, followed by St. Louis Park and Duluth East. Well, they played one of the classic games in state tournament history 2 seasons ago, and the Hopkins and Osseo boys basketball teams have built great legacies. And this past week, the Royals and Orioles met up at Osseo. Osseo's Wheeler Baker involved early and often on offense, driving for the early layup there. John Warren of Hopkins on fire. He nailed 3 straight three-point shots. They take a 17-15 lead. Baker hit 2 threes of his own in the first half. The Orioles up by a point here. He had 16 first-half points. Jake Wright, one of the great shooters in the area, counters with a 3 of his own for the Royals, and they're up by a point and a half. Second half, Baker, tough to stop in this game. He scores 36 points in the night. The Orioles still within 1. They can't quite push past the second-ranked Royals. Noble Fonbele scores and is fouled here. Hopkins pulls out a close one, 74-71. The Champlin Park girls basketball team tips off with rival Park Center Tuesday night. Rebels look to get ready for the Pirates by tuning up against Blaine. And it's a good start for Champlin Park. Nice passing inside, and it's a basket for Maria Sampson and a quick 10-2 lead. Sampson with 12 points in the game. Allison Gerard steals a Bengals pass and leads the Champlin Park break, setting up Alexis Alexander for the layup. She also nets 12 points on the night for the Rebels. Blaine's perimeter game heats up. Allison Jablonski nails the step-back 3 from the right side. Bengals trail 35-28 at the half. Defense leads to points again for the Rebels. Sydney Hilly gets the steal. She'll miss the layup, but stays with it and scores on the putback. It's 48-36 Rebels. They keep moving the ball, and it leads to a wide open three from the corner for Hilly as Champlin Park blows this one open. Champlin Park wins 68-52, and they will continue playing in the Northwest Suburban. We mentioned the Tuesday game coming up against Park Center. Should be a good one.
All right. Thanks, John.
Well, up next, a pair of students in Plymouth that will make you do a double take.
We head to Providence Academy for an interesting classroom dilemma. We'll be right back. And finally, they score terrific marks on and off the field, but the challenge is if you can tell them apart.
Trey and Trent Weibusch are juniors at Providence Academy and both have a 4.0 grade point average. Sonny Goins shows us what motivates them to succeed.
Are we going to the basketball game on Friday?
It's hard to tell the difference between Trey and Trent Weibusch.
I mean, we spend all our time together, basically. We're never really separated. He's, you know, a piece of me, essentially.
Trent is older by 19 minutes. So you're the big brother.
Yeah, I'm the big brother. People can tell us apart once they get to know us. I mean, we're very similar and we're identical, but we have distinct personality traits that, you know, define us as who we are.
Their interests are not in personal gain like someone who owns a business.
They both share a love for learning. Trey and Trent have a 4.0 grade point average, which teachers say is almost unheard of at Providence Academy.
It's definitely satisfying that, you know, hard work has paid off in the end.
Trent likes math, and Trey has a passion for history.
So we send a lot of battleships over to Britain.
The two spend most of the school day together. They share 5 classes.
The teachers put us as far away as possible, typically, on opposite sides of the room, so that it's easier for them to tell us apart. We help each other with things that you might struggle with.
The brothers are a powerful combination of brain and brawn. Both are on the football team.
I play defensive tackle and left guard. I play fullback and then linebacker.
They also participate in track and field.
I throw shot put and discus. It gets more competitive, I think, athletically.
They say balancing academics and athletics is hard, but they are motivated to succeed.
Just to be the best version of myself that I can. You know, just work hard. I think I'm a perfectionist. I struggle with that. That'd be cool if Brett came down and stayed with us.
The two have faced obstacles.
My mom passed away with breast cancer about 5 years ago, but she did an amazing job on raising us to persevere through anything.
But they turn those obstacles into opportunity by trying to be the very best they can be.
It helps to see the importance of every single day. You know, my mom said, you know, live each day like it's your last.
Trent and Trey are still deciding on which college to attend, but they hope to attend the same college and play football.
They don't mind sharing the limelight.
Apparently not.
It's a good thing.
That's all the news for now. Thanks for joining us.
Have a good weekend, everyone.